Defeating, beating, depleting, eating, throw the ball to Marcus Wheaton, D and street and neat and heating, depleting, good feeting and seating, three-peating, repeating, never cheating, pleating, keating, foveating, treating, caveating, detreating, retreating, cleating, nucleating, past completing, meeting, greeting, leeting, not deleting, I eating, zeeting, yeeting, gleeting, smeeting, sheeting, sweeting, sleeting, fleeting, tweeting, getting girls and skeeting, never deceiving, surfeiting, conceiting, illicitous, duplicitous, never spiteful, levituous, manituous, pyrituous, wicked or unpituous, the turf is suspicious, the pop rocks are crepituous, I'm not angry or despituous, reprehensible or flagituous, alacrituous, not vermituous, composituous, precipitous, proximitous, practical, galactical, climactical, not impractical or unpractical, syntactical, stalactical, aerotactical, paratactical, semotactical, topotactical, the angle is paralactical, prophylactical, stereotactical, ultra practical, mactical, ractical, lactical, pterodactyl, chalupa, hoopa, tupa, zupa, rupa, cupa, stupa, krupa, chupa, yorupa, situpa, latupa, chatupa, the market fishes are garupa, the Philippines and month and lupa, awoopa, bloopa, groupa, scoopa, snoopa, swoopa, yupa, droopa, whoopa, swing like Max Muncie, Duncy, Tunsy, Oncey, Runsey, Yuncy, Euncy, Punsy, Tunsy, Bunsy, Hunsy, Sunsy, or Unsy, Junsy, Zunsy, Bunsy, Bunsy, Nuncy. Scented, slanted, evented, kented, rented, vented, entered, tented, not dented, or demented, agented, glented, stunted. The Jordan 3 cemented that you accented, not absented or detented, cliented, never fermented. I incented lyrics that are family oriented, that I invented and relented. Some people repented and lamented, sprinted, rudented. No need to be resented. The nourishment is alimented, augmented. She consented when I commented, that makes people feel contented. Convented, dissented, I garmented for the elemented. Her pigmented, presented and segmented, the serpented I prevented. Subvented, tagmented, never tormented by the torrented or argumented. Filamented, pedimented, me and my people co-augmented as the moon crescented. Lineamented, fragmented, ornamented, monumented, regimented, documented, rudimented, sedimented, condimented, decremented, implemented, didn't have you disoriented, intervented, incremented, permanented, precedented, what you represented, sacramented, refermented. I complimented those that instrumented and experimented, idempotented, impedimented, equivalented, or what you supplemented, compartmented. Scription, ascription, did you get the description, deception of the conniption? The footwear got the gription, adscription, inscription, prescription, proscription, transcription to your monthly subscription. Elliption, no conscription or circumscription, contranscription, siption, ription, niption. Circadian, Arcadian, Sabian, Badian, Gradian, Chadian, Roadian, Scadian, Acadian, Assadian, Orcadian, Vanadian, Univadian, Canadian, Nomadian, Cascadian, Barbadian, Grenadian, Kincadian, Palladian, Cubanadian, and your relationship is connubial, dubial, nothing that's manubial, pronubial, exubial, alluvial. The river stream is fluvial, The rain is pluvial, but not diluvial, alluvial and duvial. Towards the flowing waters is adfluvial, colluvial, effluvial. The crop of birds are ingluvial, proluvial. Under a stream is subfluvial, parafluvial, glacier fluvial, paleofluvial. Nothing orthofluvial. If it's flowing against ice sheets, it's glacial fluvial. The commercial exchange is cambial, symbial, adverbial, amphibial, derivial, privial. Density, intensity, propensity. You can feel the tensity and the dimensity in the extensity of immensity. The region is iso-density, sensity. The tendencies are propensity. The rotating fluid has vortensity, protensity. The image might be eco-density, hypodensity, equidensity. The measurement of telephones is teledensity. The material is microdensity, tomodensity. Photodensity, hypointensity. Electrodensity, hyperintensity. Immunodensity. Normointensity, paleointensity, archeointensity. It's all continuous, don't be insinuous. The curves in alternate directions are sinuous. Co-continuous, never discontinuous or subcontinuous. The function is quasi-continuous, equicontinuous. Virtuous, iniquitous, exiguous, oxiduous, insidious, halituous, lactifluous, mellifluous, mellifluous. It's all proficuous and dulcifluous. Dramatics, schematics, fanatics, latics, chymatics, aquatics, Asiatics. The sound and vibration are cymatics, Eleatics, hepatics, erratics, levatics, pneumatics, lunatics, palatics, somatics, triadics, acrobatics, acrobatics. The images in the sequence are animatics. The ingredients are aromatics, dalmatics, geomatics, lensatics, heratics, dermatics. The scriptures are nomadics. Some people exaggerate the operatics. The words in the sentences are clear like grammatics, grammatics. The body of topics are thematic, Socratic, stomatics, sylvatics. The stunts are aerobatics and aquabatics, axiomatics, digiomatics. The techniques are cinematics. The branch of optics are chromatics, epistatics, geostatics, isostatics, idiomatics. The objects in motion are kinematics. Dilation of the pupil is caused by mydriatics, lymphatics, pragmatics, quadratics, schematics. The advertisements are ripomatics, stematics, telematics, theomatics. No traumatics from the stigmatics, zygomatics, astigmatics, aerostatic, gyrostatics, hemostatics, instamatics. Check the science in mathematics, virostatics. The most basic unit of language is glossomatics, mithridatics, rochromatics, deromatics, hygrostatics, presocratics, uricostatics. Some people get over-emotional with the melodramatics. The organic compounds are polyaromatics. The systems are supernumatics, thermostatics, ecoinformatics. The fields are magnetostatics, nitroaromatics. No medicine that's psychosomatics. Chloroaromatics, fluoroaromatics. The study of the motion of the universe is cosmokinematics. The effects of films on the viewer's brain relate to neurocinematics. The movement of two bones at a common joint is osteokinematic. Incandescent, effervescent, crescent, ignescent, canescent, albescent. The soft food is purpescent, redescent. If it gets too cold, your hands might get regescent, but hopefully not rufescent. Even if you're senescent, you'll put it in her mouth that's suggescent. Tubescent, red and green, venescent, virescent. The numbers are a crescent. The candescent, flavescent, brunescent, adipescent. Grew a coalescent as an adolescent, agonescent. Not diminishing or decrescent. Condescent, erubescent, coalescent. The fervescent is not excrescent, herbescent, fermescent. Hyalescent, frutescent, fulvescent, and crescent. The marshmallow and chocolate is liquescent. The flavors of gray brims are iridescent. nothing maldescent. In autumn the leaves are marcescent, like the certain type of green that's olivescent. Deposits are spumescent, walk over the putrescent, reincessant, putrescent, vitrescent. No swelling that's intumescent or turgescent. The purple violescent, adolescent, clandescent, alkalescent. The wood ashes are cinerescent, the light blue hue is servalescent, that tumescent. The leafiness is frondescent, sense of juvenescent, not tired of languescent. The light is luminescent, you gonna speak or be obtumescent, lapidescent. Nothing obsolescent, maturescent, middlescent. Shorty with the necklace that's pearlescent, cheeks are pink-wescent, secrescent. You gotta be virulescent, viridescent, sonorescent, adolescent, never contebescent, revalescent, or convalescent, recrudescent, spinulescent, gangmanescent, succulent across ulescent. Check the shrubby suffrutescent. Genoan, Panoan, Argoan, Bemoan, Saroan, Panoan, Becoan, Wacoan, Tanoan, Begroan, Cup rowing, Idahoan, Cadoan, Milhoan, Sex mowing, Stiboan, Neozoan, Tail voan, Virgoan, Uranoan, Tassoan, Ador knowing, Arsinoan, Alapoan, Boratoan, Anthanoan, Bryozoan, Caramoan, Caputoan, Ectozoan, Croatoan, Cubozoan, Enthozoan, Europoan, Eskimoan. The organism is holozoan, phylozoan, giveroan, metazoan, mesozoan, myxozoan, minoloan, parazoan, paratoan, plumboan, picozoan, polyzoan. The minerals are stanoan and thaloan, vanadoan, tucanoan, zaparoan, titanoan, tuckeroan, zamucoan, apisozoan, anthozoan, circozoan, cobaltoan, chicagoan, gippuscoan, costanoan. The protozoan is heliozoan, faciofoan, hydrozoan, interloan, krakatoan, jerichoan, manganoan, phytozoan, microzoan, microloan, palidoan, mercuroan, platyzoan, placozoan, platinoan, actinozoan, asterozoan, bismuthoan, calistoan, coloridoan, galapagoan, echinozoan, hematozoan, nephrozoan, camptozoan, rhombozoan, suedoloan, staurozoan, urmatozoan, trochozoan, chitinozoan, parahoxozoan, micrometazoan, locotrophozoan, centroheliozoan. Biggies and Pells, 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 Biggies and Pells. A Persian, inertion, exertion. She wants insertion, no desertion. Gotta have the assertion, consertion, conversion, transertion, Persian, inertion, version, adversion. Editor, competitor, not a debitor, predator, editor, creditor, repetitor, sub-editor, discreditor, exeter, aliter, arbiter, lamiter, lexiter, meriter, limiter, limiter, Jupiter, chapiter, pulpiter, billiter, brexiter, braxiter. Interception like Kwame Lassiter. Classiter, bassiter, glassiter, grassiter, crassiter, massiter, desilator, facilitator, exhibitor, inhibitor, centillator, pillifer, velifer, chellifer, jellifer, conifer, thurifer, stanifer, valifer. Biggies and Pells, 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 Biggies and Pells. Particulary, reticulary, oculary, joculary, epulary, vocabulary. The flowering plant is ovulary, annulary, ferulary, insulary, pabulary, tipulary, titulary, scapulary, copulary, populary. The surface is granulary, calculary, capsulary, calculary, formulary, cartulary, speculary, circulary, stipulary, articulary, capitulary, chartulary, patibulary, vehiculary, sportulary, collabulary, preambulary, trabeculary, subferulary, quadrobulary. 3 pipes, trifistulary, no sleepwalking, not somnambulary, intracellulary, suprascapulary. The bells ringing is 10-10 nabulary. Biggies and Pells, Biggies and Pells, Biggies and Pells, Biggies and Pells, Biggies and Pells. Beside the upside, get an acrobatic pick like Micah Hyde. Pied, nied, eyed, vide, ride. Run sweeps to the wide side. Go swimming in lower high tide. Bide, abide, amide, as I'd slide and glide in the bride, allied, nide. Nobody's got a chide or glide over the guide. Amide, pride, tried and stride, spied, shied. Don't be snide. Oxide, peroxide, the alkide, allied, our guide, the rider, tried, belied. Beside, not gonna collide, oxide, maride, lepide, inside the divide. Manide, osmide, if you're up in points, be prepared for the onside. That's where you reside, analyde, onside, as allied, astride. The bastide, the glycoside is biocide, calcide. Bromide, confide in the carbide. Cyclide, Clyde, the glide, avatide. No cyanide, dioxide, eptide, hydride, full guide. Fluoride, garside, glucide, anamide, epoxide. Glenide, not denied, guanide, ivoride. The white crystalline is isotide. Lactide, lithide, more ride in the trinuclide. Outside, oxamide, provide the subtide. The rush was riptide. Tenzide, sulfides, inside, actinide, agneside, aclomide. Nickel and silver, alphanide, alchemide, alkazide, argonide. Denoxide, benoxide, monoxide, bonafide, caramide, ceramide. What's gotta coincide with the metal ion cytoside? Decinide, ethanide, ethoxide. No slander, famicide, phatamide, phenomide, fetocide. Fixolide, fepexide, fucoside. Nothing to shadow or fortnight. Furamide, gidoside, gilbride. Play the corner with the 38 like Trumaine McBride. Idle pride, kemptide, ketamide, ketanide. Cryptide, laramide. The stone cutter is a lapicide. Laxoside, letamide. The sulfonamide is maphanide. No new Everson on the grace, Juard. No new Everson on the grace, Juard. No new Everson on the grace, Juard. The illusional, not delusional, profusional, protrusional, pertusional, fusional, infusional. The conclusional, not confusional or contusional. Nothing intrusional where the situation needs to be diffusional. Protrusional, lusional, rusional, tusional, occlusional, perfusional. Peruvian, Ecluvian, Luvian, Pluvian, Bacuvian. No floods that are diluvian. Her hair was Peruvian, Vesuvian, Neruvian, Nasuvian, Paguvian, Vitruvian. The three rivers are trifluvian, Catruvian. Before the flood was pre-diluvian, Thoruvian, Rossuvian, antediluvian, Terranuvian, post-diluvian, Auvian, Cuvian, Luvian, Suvian, Ruvian, Groovian. And you listening to brand Nubian, Rubian, Arubian, Danubian, Anubian. Yerubian, Kasubian, Yakubian, Kashubian, Cornubian, Nawubian, Utubian, Transdanubian, Beelzebubian, Yagubian, Rubian, Tubian, Subian, Hubian, Goobian. Vulgar at the Kroger, Boger, Koger, Smolder, Shoulder, Boulder, Wolder, Older, Golder, Molder, Folder, Holder, Colder. And you block like Nate Solder. And polder, scolder, as molder, and holder, resolder, upholder, dolder. Polder, nolder, rolder, volder, tolder, zolder, yolder, quolder. No new Everson on the grace, Juard. No new Everson on the grace, Juard. No new Everson on the grace, Juard. Repetitious, exhibitious, superstitious, aloysious, ambitious. Nothing destructive or exitious. Fruitious, malicious. I'm not being malicious or seditious. This is new as in Novitious. Whether factitious or fictitious, nothing flagitious. The brand names are lotitious. The food that's nutritious is propitious. And the agreement is factitious. Nothing creeping that's repetitious. Not diminishing or ablititious. The supplemental is acetitious, addititious. If you're examining, that's emissicious. If you're quick, that's expeditious. Natalicious, latericious, papy, richous, spondicious. The additional is adjectitious, adventitious, adcititious. Not isolated from reality or eruptitious. Cementitious, coalitious, colititious, deglutitious. The surprise was obreptitious, precipititious, not rejectitious. The satilicious is repetitious, secretitious, subdititious. Nothing spurious or supposititious, commentitious, tribunitious. If you got money, that's conductitious, fermentitious, surreptitious, profectitious, ventitious, abstractitious, artifactitious, sedimentitious, acquisitious, translititious, salicious, sericious. You don't gotta be greedy or avaricious, not convicious, metricious. Slippery is lubricious, unpredictable is capricious, but doesn't gotta be pernicious. Officious, vermicious, trilicious, modalicious, beneficious and fabulicious, proliticious, petrificious. Your raps are all gimmicky, we don't portray the same imagery. Your raps are all gimmicky, we don't portray the same imagery. Your raps are all gimmicky, we don't portray the same imagery. Don't act surprised when the sneakers that sized are the 14s oxidized. And the prize, devised, smiles, pies, the rise, odized, agonized, denies, the rise, medized, iodized. The potpourri is papized, iotized, suffice, oxidized, agorized, adonized, not antagonized, apprised, atomized, arabized, aronized. Since I was baptized, the hits were psycholized, bromized, coalized, coatized, cognized, cyanized, dualized, egotized, ecoized, emetized, ethnized, edonized, elegized, analyzed, fibrized, exonized. They filmized things that they heroized and idolized, galized, resized, iconized, itemized, iridized. The wood is kyanized, lionized, marxized, metrized. The odorized, deodorized, obalized, omanized, opalized, overnized, ovalized, oralized. And you realized and utilized that it was unitized, pectized, peptized, poetized, verbized, verbalized, zionized, accurized and activized, alkalized, affinized, albertized. What you analyzed and appetized, aphetized, afterized, anthesized, addicized, arborized, automized. The plants you botanized, bovinized, colorized, calorized, cabalized. If it's civilized, commodized, nothing's gotta be compromised to those that are colonized. Cyberized, coralized, creolized, digitized, disguised, dolomized, dimmerized, dynamized. The stuff that's embolized had you energized and equalized, equicized. Your raps are all gimmicky, we don't portray the same imagery. Your raps are all gimmicky, we don't portray the same imagery. Your raps are all gimmicky, we don't portray the same imagery. Grasping and grasping, rasping, clasping, hasping and clasping, unclasping, not gasping and aspin, no dendroaspin, perhaps and lapsing, chaps and gaps and time elapsing, no relapsing or collapsing. Synapsing, elapsing, delapsing, prolapsing, interlapsing, napsing, yapsing, stiapsing, your capsing, cadapsing, mamapsing, and capsing, contrapsing, digidapsing, crypto capsing. Hit 'em like Mike Minter. It's weird seeing a touchdown catch from Danny Pinter. Kinter, tinter, sprinter, stinter, cinter, hinter, linter, printer, vinter, slinter, skinter, twinter. No splinter in the winter, the linter and printer, the center. You might need glasses if you're a squinter. Defensive backs trying to get the enter. Ginter, dinter, binter, ginter, plinter, slinter. You can't bug this, get a pick like Rasul Douglas, Cutlass, Artless, Nis, Bis, Sis, West, Swiss, Miss, Abyss, Abriss, Bevis, Abliss, Jadis, Adjust, Address, your test, your nest, your rest, confess, harass, invest, your less, comess, caress, labes, capes, the rest, cacess, legest, marest, nabest, naves, pales, paves, pates, rewest, so less, arrest, sunes, renes, sedes, protest, to mess, to best, to rest, the test, your less, yo nest, bow test, aloes, alanes, as a mess, bay less, che test, chunes, cloves, chares, claves, alames, apules, anokes. Go just grotesque, glenes, candes, carmes, fundes, gundes, irites, perpres, partes, parves, herles, herles, perves, rabes, rahues, aglues, astes, orbes, nucleus, pamues, sartes, gales, wazes, certes, the lesser west, salves, ardes, yanes, arbes, humulus, accumulus. Exhibitionist, repetitionist, petitionist. Got a lot of goals to be an ambitionist, seditionist, coalitionist, traditionist, intuitionist, volitionist, partitionist, nutritionist, apparitionist. The journey that's transitionist is expeditionist, not a prohibitionist or an oppositionist. The writing is that of a compositionist, competitionist, requisitionist. A porn star is a sexhibitionist. Some baseball players might be a superstitionist. You get the gist listening to Cam and Tom Guest. West, wrist, no cyst, you're not on the list to get the fist. Me and that girl had a little tryst, breast, the wrist, chest, bliss, flist. The grain is aggressed, desk, chest. Grateful to exist, score the point to get the assist. I'll just the list, but best but west. You don't gotta enlist for hest, high list if you insist. The painters are capist, cleest. The poets are laquest, the fashion is modest, pepest, west. These rhymes you can't relist or resist are the words that consist, not one to sedest. The recordings are to pest, thrust, to mess, rest, rotest, act mest, agamest, agapest, abscessed. To gain is into a quest. Agonist, protagonist, adamest, basest, brofest, cardes, can't best, your fest. Chares, cozest, arrest, artestronest. You don't gotta twist the lest, apicest, for breast, axodes, flutest, harkest, ibedest, jadest, javest, isovest. The carvers and ivorest, jazest, coda west, machest, mergest. Artisan, partisan, bartisan, slick like butter or margarine. Artisan, partisan, bartisan, slick like butter or margarine. Artisan, partisan, bartisan, slick like butter or margarine. Revivalist, survivalist, dialist, arbalist, cabalist, analyst, equalist. Gotta be a finalist, camelist, femalist, royalist, loyalist, localist, modelist, gold medalist, moralist, naxalist, navalist, regalist, totalist, vocalist, actualist, the moralist, aerialist, animalist, annualist, autonalist, anomalist, casualist, carnalist. The keyboard player's a symbolist, resemblist. The composer's a choralist. The junglist, symbolist, fiscalist, frugalist, formalist, normalist, globalist, globalist, herbalist, mutualist, mortalist, portalist, pluralist, no epiduralist, ritualist, habitualist, signalist, visualist, socialist, spiralist, viralist, vandalist, sandalist, scandalous, verbalist, superbalist, externalist, eternalist, journalist, confirmalist, centralist, brochureless, socialist, eternalist, factualist, tactualist, glacialist, gradualist, humoralist, liberalist, literalist, mineralist, naturalist, partialist, martialist, maximalist and minimalist, specialist, textualist, virtualist, trivialist, trivialist, cardinalist, cardinalist, cerebralist, cathedralist, colonialist, culturalist, eventualist, extensuous, diluvialist, pluvialist, and gluvialist, imperialist, serialist, immortalist, borderless, internalist, integralist, marginalist, materialist, memorialist, decoralist, nationalist, passionalist, originalist, pigeonalist, personalist, honorless, physicalist, punctualist, pronatalist, spectralist, extralis, syndicalist, indicalist, tropicalist, opticalist, verbulist, adverbialist, conferalist, panteralist, artisan, partisan, bartisan, slick like butter or margarine. Artisan, partisan, bartisan, slick like butter or margarine. Artisan, partisan, bartisan, slick like butter or margarine. Drizzlin', fizzlin', sizzlin', zizzlin', twizzlin', mizzlin', rizzlin', crizzlin', swizzlin', grizzlin', frizzlin', squizzlin', vizzlin', whizzlin', Ticonderoga, Saratoga, and your girl does yoga. Doga, koga, joga, toga. Did you ever eat a boga? It's not an emboga. The type of ginger is myoga. The cigar is a stoga, tioga, aroga, awoga, basoga. The freshwater lake is Ladoga, Lamoga, Lodoga. The Bantu language is Lasoga, Taloga, Analoga, Datoga, Quiroga. The commander is a Hiratoga, Chitoga, Calistoga, Chiraboga. Oka, get the coca, loca, soca, woka. The seal is a foca. The longhouse is a maloka, papoka. The sideways step is a karaoke, Nyanyoka, Nyandoka. No poro roca, chutney soca. Montez Dioka, Tezcatla polka. Doka, hoka, poka, ioka, ioka. Preliminary, liminary, luminary, binary, finary, oscinary, trinary. No problems with the urinary. You do culinary at the seminary. Nothing out of the ordinary, imaginary, culinary, nundinary, routinary, originary. The illuminary, medicinary is extraordinary, matutinary. The mills are molendinary, preliminary, renorinary. The devices are not subordinary, subluminary, predestinary, nothing valetudinary, extraordinary, intraordinary, multitudinary, complete as in plentitudinary, consuetudinary, not lacking health or invaliditudinary, similitudinary. There doesn't have to be an alteration that's vicissitudinary.